Ladies and gentlemen of the RNG Revolution, welcome to this week's episode of the RNG Cast. I, as always, am Buster Knuckle. I'm back. Joining me this week is...
This is your boy Raven. Hello.
How you doing, Des?
I'm doing pretty good. How
do you fuck up your own name? I don't understand how I just flubbed my own name in the lost intro of this episode. Oh God. I guess my voice is like, oh, you're back. I'm back. You're just gonna mess up real quick, you know.
Yeah.
You've had a week off, and surprise, I did have a week off, and I hated it. And thank you, Des, for telling me to take it easy because I would have suffered through that episode.
Exactly.
I'd have been, hey guys, yeah, totally. We could, hold on a second. That was pretty much as I could get. That was me forcing everything out. That was my scream for like 2 days.
Yeah.
So, I caught the episode. It was weird listening to you guys and me responding, thinking like I was live. I was like, no. And luckily, I saw the RNG cast is live when I woke up, and I got in just to hear the Game of Thrones stuff, and I was screaming. Well, not screaming. I was whispering, grunting at you as loud as I can. Like that's not a White Walker. That's not the White Walkers. Those are just whites.
Yeah, as I've learned. Because I've actually finished that now. I've made it to season 7, episode 7.
Wow.
So yeah.
You've caught up.
Yeah. I'm done with that now. Well, at least pretty much. And I will say this. I may not be hooked to Game of Thrones, but I'm a huge fan of season 7. My God.
Yeah.
It's like that's when stuff actually starts going down. They got like, no spoilers, but they got like a nice little plot twist in there, like an actual plot twist that you don't see coming for a mile away. It's like, hey, it's pretty nice. It's not bad. I'll say that. And then I'll learn like season 8 is like the final season. Yeah. And it's like, oh, well, don't that just figure the season, the series gets good for me and it's about to be freaking over. Fantastic.
Well, good news, every episode is going to be like a feature-length movie. Like, they're all going to be within 90 minutes long, so, yeah.
Good grief.
Yeah, they're all going to be massive. But I'm glad you caught up, so now we can talk about it. And Alex, I don't know what's wrong with you. You just didn't like it. That's fine. We all have our things. I tried to watch
That's fair.
I tried to watch Walking Dead again, and I'm like, I like Negan. I don't like anything else. So I gave it a shot. Watched a few episodes. Was like, too many cut the crap moments for me.
Yeah.
But as I tweeted out yesterday, I should say, prematurely, well, technically it was last week since Saturday. It is now Sunday. That we will not have an episode because my hot water heater decided to take a dump on me, and there I was in Home Depot trying to figure out what tools to buy. I don't know if you knew this about your buddy Buster Knuckle, but I'm not a very tooly person, okay? I know hammers, wrenches, screwdrivers.
Yeah, basic crap.
The basics crap. I don't know what a spanner was. I didn't know what, I was like, oh, cool. And then luckily, thankfully, there was a dude there. He was like, do you need help? I'm like, yes. And I told him what happened. He's like, you need this. Like, he's like, oh, here's a book to fix it. I'm like, cool, I can just read a book. I can do that. I can follow pictures. Yeah, these pictures are like the diagram of the damn Death Star. I'm like, is there a neutron core in this? I'm like flipping the book around, and my girlfriend, bless her, she was like, you look like an ape trying to figure out how to build a car. And I'm like, that's effectively what this is. So, I have a voice. I missed you guys. Man, it's good to respond because I was talking to you, Des, true story, at work, out loud, with my headphones in. I was responding to you like, no, man, I disagree. And people were just looking at me. I'm like, I'm not talking to you. And they're like, who are you talking to? I'm like, well, technically, I look like I'm insane. And I'm like, good, just keep it that way. So, let's just go right into the Destiny 2 talk. Have you been playing Destiny 2? Rhetorical question.
I have.
I as well. I have my Warlock now is level 20. Building that up. And I thought it would be cool. I was like, oh yeah, I could just level up my Warlock to level 20, transfer some of my Titan arms over, and guess what you can't do? Can't infuse Titan arms to Warlock arms. Now
Yeah,
I
that
know
sure gets
that.
gone.
Weapons can move over, that's fine, whatever. So I'm like, I can understand that. The grind is now real for the Warlock because I have high 280, 290 weapons on, and it's like level median is still like 260, so I'm still getting 260 weapons. I'm like, crunch, 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 crunch. Nope, nope. Weapon, ooh, armor, ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah.
But we have the faction rally active.
Whoop, whoop.
And what do you think about the faction rally, Des?
You know what? From everything I'm hearing and such, it's. I'm having a lot of fun with it because basically, I mean, from what I'm gathering, from what it sounds like and everything, which I'll say this, it sounds like faction rallies are going to be the PvE equivalent to Iron Banner. And what's great about that is because Bungie literally once, tried a PvE equivalent of Iron Banner. It only had one instance 4 years ago.
The Queen's Wrath
The
event?
Queen's Wrath event. The first time we met Petrovenge, who had a very different look back then. She actually looked like a basic Queen's Guard. But yeah, and that, I'll tell you what, the faction rallies, I feel like even though they're not quite as in-depth as that Queen's Wrath event was, I like them better. Because they give you extra crap to do when they're active. Mm-hmm. And I really like that. I was used to, I went Lost Sector diving a lot, as that's no secret, because I freaking love Lost Sector still. And all of a sudden it's like faction rallies, first day, go into this area and do Lost Sectors. Like, okay. So I thought destroying supplies was Bungie's like kind of a phrasey way of saying, just collect the crap at the end. No, for faction rallies, Bungie puts these destructible things, don't stand too close to them, they will murder you, in the Lost Sectors. And I really, really like that. And I don't think that's it. I think there's scannables, too.
Yeah,
there's extra scannables.
Yeah, there was.
Because I
found a scannable. It was
yeah, I found one. In all the Lost Sectors I've been to, I found one. Like scanned it. Because at first I thought they fixed something to where maybe like there's an icon over the lore scannables, but no. Next thing I know, I scanned it and I get like 4 faction tokens. It's like, huh? Excuse me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm like really having a blast with it because it is not, again, it's 20 tokens, and you got to level up. Like, solid. Freaking heroic public events, 8 tokens every time you finish one. Regular public events, 4 tokens. If you fail a public event, 2 tokens. I mean, and it's like 4 tokens for a 1 Crucible match, 2 tokens for a Lost Crucible match. Have not been able to do the raid, so don't know, like, token averages there. Or trials. So, but yeah. I'm really liking...
I think a strike is
strikes.
4. Strike is 4.
It could be. I still don't play strikes much.
I don't either. I think it's 4. It makes sense because everything is either 4. It's like 4 or 8, so it makes the most sense.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm really liking this event because it's like that, and it's like a low key it's a low key competition even like for PvE, which is like really really cool. And like I've said, it's like what MKX did with their faction wars. I mean, I'm liking it. It gives you a reason to go out, do PvE, grind out for some crap, and move on. Yes, faction rallies as Raven's thumbs up seal of approval.
Yeah, I like it. I really do. It's fun. It's easy, and every time there's a public event, those 4 or 5 shipments drop.
Oh yeah, those public
And
events.
you can
Yeah,
get
yeah,
one
yeah.
and one on that. Each one of those is worth one. And if you have
Yeah,
3 buddies or 4 buddies, as long as you're in the area, you still if
yeah.
they capture it, you still get the point. So in
They
theory,
don't even
you
have to
could
be
get like
buddies.
no, yeah, they just have to be in your instance.
Well,
And
I'm just saying. I mean, they don't even have to be in your fire team. Like randoms. Like as long as you're in the area.
mhm.
I've been getting tokens for randoms doing it because there was a time it's like, oh, here's a public event, but here's this supply gathering event, and it's like, what do I do? Well, I'm going to do this public event, and like all the randoms were doing the other event, but I was still getting tokens for it. It's like works for me.
So if you do a heroic and every one of those are captured, you get 12 or 13. It's incredible. It's so fast. The only thing I see that a lot of people are complaining about is the what was it? There's like a cap for 30 packages,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and after
Yeah, you
30,
get 30 packages per event, and after that, your packages will give shaders.
and a lot of people are angry about that. The only one there's a small bug that Future War Call is the only one that doesn't have that cap. So people who are getting Future War Call rep can still just keep grinding to get loot and the shards, and that seems to be the new shader debacle. And if Des and I were talking about this earlier, a little bit behind the scenes, uh, if that's the only thing you can still complain about is shaders and a small bug, yeah, okay, fantastic.
I mean, wow, a PvE, a Bungie PvE event that had a bug that you can do things with. Where have I heard that before 4 years ago?
Hmm.
I mean, there's a reason they stopped the Queen's Wrath. And there's a reason why event legendaries and all throughout the entire lifespan of Destiny 1 never dismantled into legendary shards. Or marks, or whatever the crap the currency was.
Marks.
Because of the Queen's Wrath. I mean, it was a farm thing that people could just get a crap ton of legendary marks, or whatever they were back then. I can't remember what they were back then. Vanguard Crucible marks, maybe?
Back then it was Vanguard and Crucible.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was just a high source of marks, and Bungie had to pull that plug fairly quickly.
And oh no, the Destiny community is going to discover a farm. Do you remember the Loot Cave? Or I've seen several videos that, oh, this is a way you can get 1,000 tokens in an hour.
All right.
And it's basically running into a lost sector, clearing it out, not killing the boss, running all the way out till the screen changes instance, and then running right back in and it resets. I'm like, okay, why don't you just play the game and have fun? I mean, I understand the grind. Is, some people like that. I tried to do it for 15 minutes. and was like, this is the most boring. This is the most bored I've ever been. I want to headbutt a pencil.
I've actually seen a Loot Cave video for Destiny 2, quote unquote, and all he was doing was just like in Destiny. It's hilarious because they mentioned this crap, and it's like all these are D1 tricks. Like legitimately, that's what he was doing. He was using it was like, I think it was on IO. I'm pretty sure it was on IO because it had to do with a Vex teleporter pad or teleporter gate, and like basically like zoning in and zoning out at points and times where the chest would basically just reset over and over again.
Nessus.
Rather than going through a code. Okay, it was necessary.
Yeah, when you go to the right, you go down through that one, the cave, and it has the teleporter. You grab you grab, you hit, you run as fast as you can, you turn around and head back. I've seen that too.
Yeah, so I mean, I just sit there and watch, and it's like, yeah, that looks like it could be effective. But here I was watching this video like a couple days after launch. It's like, yeah, but a day after launch, and I'm already like max level and hitting the light level grind. So I don't think I need that. Because that was the thing. That's why the Loot Cave was born. Because crap was not rewarding in Destiny 1. Not as rewarding. And it was more rewarding to stand in front of a cave for hours and shoot things.
Shoot rockets.
Yeah. And that's why the Loot Cave was born. I mean, that's why it was there, because it was your best chance of getting legendary engrams. And Bungie saw this, and I mean, I even read an article. It's like, the Loot Cave is not, like, Bungie may joke about it, but it is actually like a point of shame on like Bungie's record, and they kind of use it. It's kind of like their fuel to try and make the game keep the game rewarding, so where people aren't like aren't pushed into the fact that's like, well, we could play the game, or to get the rewards, we can just not play the game and just stand in front of a cave and shoot things for hours on end.
Mm-hmm.
Which, as a game developer, that is a big failure and was a big failure on their part. So instead of playing the games, like, you just stand there and press a button, then run up on occasion, collect your crap, go back into position, start shooting again. So, yeah. But I have not felt that with Destiny 2. Like, I've not felt a need to, like, find loot caves or find, like, what's the best way I can get engrams or anything. I had not felt that in the early grind.
No, I haven't either. And as we all know, the grind is, you know, we embrace the grind here at the RNG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the game is still rewarding. It's still fun to play. I mean, like I said, I got my warlock up, and I still remember. I still feel giddy about, like, ooh, a purple just fell. You know, like,
right?
Yeah, let me go grab that purple real quick and talk to Ikora. And it's so funny because when I spawn in, I always go talk to Zavala, and I'm like,
yeah,
nope, I had to go all the way around. But my one little tiff that I have with it and with Destiny right now, and it's a small tiff, and it's probably because the loot pool is so small with exotics that, like, I got the exotic from Zavala for completing the game, for getting, hitting 20. Yeah. And I went there and I pulled it, and I went back and I got the Radcliffe coil, or the dubious volley, whatever. We talked about it 2 weeks ago. I have one at like 300 light, and I got it. I'm like, well, crush this. And it seems almost like, here, like he kind of just went, I know what's in it, here, Merry Christmas, or whatever. Like when somebody gives you a crappy gift, they're like, I know what's in it, you're not going to like it, but here you go. That's what I felt like, and I was like, okay, cool. You could have given me anything else. Literally anything else. Any other exotic I could have used for this character. But you gave me the one exotic that I have I now have had 4 drop. And I bought one from Xur. And then it dropped the next day from an Ingram. You know what I mean? Like, it's probably because the loot pool's so small, and then it would be like, oh, well, you're basically cheesing the system into giving you what you don't have. Which I understand. It's supposed to be random. We embrace the random. I love it. But it's still kind of like, man.
Yeah, when you look at, like, the exotics like I recently have, I mean, you kind of realize, like, there aren't, like, a lot of exotics. I dare say I think there was actually more exotics in D1 vanilla when it launched.
Probably.
But yeah, I get that feel as well, because, like, you get an exotic engram, it's like, ooh, could this be just something different?
Yeah, exactly how I felt. Is this something that I don't have?
I was finally able to get not only Darcy, but the Borealis to finally drop.
Nice.
I think those were the 2 I was missing as well. So I think I might have all the weapons, minus the raid exotic shotgun.
I know I don't have the hard light, which I really want, because I want to give it a shot in this incarnation of Destiny. I don't have the Darcy. I don't have the Skyburner's Oath.
Oh yeah, that's another one I don't have. I keep forgetting about that.
Obviously, I don't have the raid shotgun because I still haven't completed the fucking raid.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. I'm dedicating my vacation to completing the raid. Like, this time next week, I'm going to be trying to find a raid group. So if anybody wants to raid, help me raid and finish the raid. I've done every fucking thing. I've done every single event, except for I haven't done them all at one time. So I know how to run. I know how to kill the dogs. I know the bathhouse.
Yeah.
I know how to kill Callus. I've seen so many videos because it's like, it's been a month. I can't go in blind.
Exactly.
I'm literally an anchor if I'm like, I don't know what to do here. It still takes a minute for the team to gel and condense, so.
Oh, yeah.
It just, I'm like, okay, I got this. So I told the missus, I'm like, listen, tomorrow, this time next week, after I drop you off at work, don't call me, don't text me. I will be building a team all week, trying to find whoever wants to bring me in. Xander fan, I'm looking at you. Not really looking at you, but audibly I'm looking at you. Des, if you want to come in, I'm glad to have a fellow RNG cast revolutionary come in. I need to get it done. I just want to know what it's like to kill Callus.
I know, right?
I have so many callus tokens. I have
I
so
know,
many
right?
callus tokens. I have so many shaders. I'm like, I can put the shader on every gun I like. I just look at when I get a new gun. I'm like, what's this look like? Not worth it.
Yeah, I'm sitting on 44 Callus tokens
Yeah,
for that equation, and it's like, as long as I beat it once, I can actually turn all these pieces of crap
yeah,
in.
and then get another drop. It's great. You have another a raid drop now. And I mean, God bless the clan for giving me the raid drops I have gotten, because I've gotten the sword, which looks really cool, and the pulse rifle, which is still pretty good.
Oh, I want that
The
pulse.
pulse is really good. I mean,
Yeah, I want that pulse.
in a world where Buster Knuckle is like, oh, it's a pretty open meta right now. Where, you can use anything. I'm like, I have a Uriel's gift, but I have the inaugural address too. And then I'm sitting here just two bursting people, and I'm like, this is so worth it. Because it just doesn't make sense for me to have two autos. Two autos of the same archetype. Oh, I have an origin
Yeah.
story, and I have the Uriel's gift. Why use that? But I did get the going back to the faction rally. I got the auto rifle from the from the New Monarchy. Surprise,
Oh, yeah.
surprise! I'm a Titan that uses New Monarchy. We all talked about this on the Destiny Lord cast, where we talked about New Monarchy, and I, for a split second, went, "Man, I probably picked the wrong faction," but I digress. It looks cool.
Oh, dude, what they did with New Monarchy, just adding that touch of gold to everything. Oh my
The one has a
god!
touch of gold. The one doesn't, and it's still beautiful either way. And
I mean, it's like it's just the fact it's like it's hilarious because I'm still Hunter main future war cult type of guy, but I took a look at like all the New Monarchy stuff, and it's just like, oh my god, Bungie, you've done it! Like this is probably like one of the best decisions you've made for Destiny 2. It's like, oh my god, New Monarchy stuff looks so much better with that gold.
and I said it. I was like, yeah, I'm running New Monarchy, and everybody's like, aren't you mad that you're not getting extra drops? I'm like, yeah, but I'm getting that dope shader, so
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I have a feeling, just my gut instinct, the future war cult's gonna win. I have a feeling, because
I know,
I
right?
looked at the weapons, and that pulse rifle is beyond better than any of the other two. I'm really, really hoping that next time this comes around, I'm thinking you're right. It's going to be a monthly thing for a week, for a whole reset schedule.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I've seen the preview of some of the gear. It's hard not to when you're on YouTube and you're like, oh, more faction loot. The New Monarchy sword. There's auto rifles for every faction. I really want a kinetic auto rifle because I'm tired. I'm like, I like the origin story, but give me something different, please. The Future War Call has. I mean, every weapon, every faction now has a weapon of every type. Bella, come on, back up.
Indeed. And there's already hints in the databases of future faction rally winning weapons, possibly. Because there's actually a second scout rifle in the database for New Monarchy.
Yeah. A different archetype.
No, same archetype.
Same archetype?
Same archetype. They're kind of almost identical stat-wise. But of course they do have different perks. But yeah, they're both 150 RPM.
Oh. Yeah, that thing hits like a truck.
It does.
I took that in the PvP and I was like, oh, you have a Mida? I can make you flinch too. We can flinch together.
Yeah.
So, that's always fun. I like it. I'm digging it. And we have to look forward to this month, because it's now October. Happy October, everybody. We have Iron Banner coming up, which I'm looking forward to, because as we saw in the little preview, the Iron Banner gear is all Eastern inspired, the armor.
Yeah, rather than medieval.
Medieval or Viking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Nordic. When I said I went to New Monarchy, somebody was like, why? I was like, well, one, because I like knight stuff. And they're like, well, why don't you just wait till Iron Banner? I'm like, it's going to be all samurai and that kind of stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm like, plus the shader's awesome. And then they were like, yeah, the shader is pretty dope. And I'm like, exactly. I'm looking forward to playing some Iron Banner. I don't know what playlist they're going to be, if they're going to use competitive or quick play. I'm assuming quick play is going to be their playlist rotation. The gear, hoping it's great. There's going to be shaders. We all know that. There's going to be Iron Banner shaders and tokens. That's just the way it works now, which I'm excited about. I mean, other than that, man, I'm pretty happy with this first faction rally. They didn't let me down. You didn't let me down, Bungie.
Yeah, this, like I said, it's been fairly subtle touches on what they've added, but just the fact that they've added things to do in the PvE world, which is really cool because, like I said, I've myself had like just settled into how things work and how things go in PvE in Destiny 2. And then this just kind of like gave me a slight turn on my ears, like, you know, it's like Jack Skellington, what's this? Ooh, what's this? Hey, what's this over here? You know, I mean, it's, like I said, I've been taking it. I've been liking it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as much as I don't like to say Biz, you're kind of right. Destiny 2, it just was like, oh yeah. I do play Paladin still.
I booted it up once.
I played Talus.
I didn't forget.
I played Talus.
I booted it up twice because I screwed up and I didn't buy Barrick's old costume before between updates. So it's like, oh crap. Oh well. I mean, I do like his new update better than I did like Rex's updated look. So I'm not like 100% sad about it. But then it's like, yeah, I need to start booting this up more often at least.
Me too. And now I'm platinum, so I have to boot it up and play at least one match so I don't lose my rank. Yeah. And that ends the Paladins talk.
Yeah.
That's the record right there, ladies and gentlemen. Back to Destiny 2. I think we do have a couple questions. We can handle that before we go into the review of Xur's Exotics, considering you only have a day. No, well, by the time you listen to it, you won't even be able to get them, but it's still nice to hear us talk about it, I guess. Lazrich the Lich asked, now that it's officially autumn, I don't believe so, it's still like 80 degrees in New Jersey. What's the RNG?
It's still like 95 down here.
Yeah, it was like 96 last week. It's not autumn. What's the RNG stance on all the pumpkin products out there?
Lady Raven definitely approves. She loves pumpkin spice everything, which sucks because that means I can't steal like her snacks and cookies anymore because they're all pumpkin spice.
I hate pumpkin spice. I love pumpkin pie. Don't get it wrong.
Yeah. I just don't like pumpkin spice flavored things myself. It's like the pumpkin she likes is like pretty much overbearingly pumpkin flavor. Yeah. It's like, I'm gonna let you do that. I'm gonna leave you with that. Like once it hits December, I'll be fine and I'll be stealing her snacks again.
Ooh, peppermint. Ooh, I love candy canes.
But yeah, right now she's pretty much happy because I can't steal her cookies because they're all. If she gets a cookie or like a little pack of cookies, it's pumpkin spice cookies for sure. And it's like, nope, nope.
I got up this morning and made eggs Benedict because, you know, it's breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day. And I was like, oh, yeah, we got English fucking A. It's pumpkin spice. And I was like, I'm not eating eggs Benedict on pumpkin spice English muffin. I'm not going to do it. So I just ate it over. I just ate like a savage over toast. Whatever. Meanwhile, Biz is losing his mind. Over toast? No! We miss you, buddy. There was one more. I don't know if you guys covered it last week. Oh, Scully, our old friend Scully asked, "What's your best cold remedy?"
My best cold remedy. It's never done me wrong. Is if I ever feel anything coming, or even though it's like cold season, I will chug a gallon of orange juice.
Yep, vitamin C.
I will chug a gallon, like a full gallon too. I'm talking like within a day, that gallon of orange juice is gone, if not within like an hour. But yeah, I chug orange juice, and I don't know. I've always been fairly resilient. Colds and stuff only knock me out for a couple of days, but yeah, if it's that season, I pick up orange juice and just start chugging it.
Yeah, vitamin C, zinc, the Coldies products always worked for me. Like if I get a cold, I'll take a couple Coldies. One, it tastes Oh boy, they taste terrible, but they work, and that's the best remedy I have. The one my grandmother used to make, and oh god, it's disgusting. Oh my god, she would just boil cinnamon sticks and just like make cinnamon water basically, and then you drank it, and you would sweat. I would sweat so much, and then I'd feel great, and because you're sweating everything out basically. I don't know why, and I think that's why I don't like hot liquids. Like I can't drink tea or coffee or hot chocolate or whatever. I just hate hot liquids, and it's probably because as a kid I had to chug a lug, a thermos of hot cinnamon water, which is refreshing. Let me tell you. And I mean, it works though, and that's why in our Discord I said it's disgusting. So hopefully you feel better, Scully. We need to play some Destiny 2. We haven't played some Destiny 2. Right. Get together.
Have all the people like I said, getting used to like my quote unquote normal person schedule now. Which just in case I haven't said it on the show, I'm now a daywalker. Ugh. But yeah, it's out of all the people I've seen a lot, I've not been able to cross my paths with Scully or Mulder very often. Still, it makes me sad. But yeah, speaking of like normal person schedule, oh my god, dude! A couple nights ago, I actually went to bed before 10 p.m.
Really?
I know, right? Yeah, I actually laid down in bed, and it was like 9:50. It's like, holy crap! I'm one of these people now. Crap.
See, it's even worse though when you're a super day walker. When you start at 4 a.m. and you have to be in, your body starts shutting down at like 8 o'clock, and you're just like, I can do it. I can do it. Give me some ice cream, and then you're asleep and there's a bowl of ice cream on your lap. Not saying that I've done that personally, but I've done that personally. Let me see. Fred Bob Bazooka, my buddy, asked, "Do you think Destiny 2's Crucible is as fun as Destiny 1?" Really, dude? Really?
Well,
there's somebody revving their engine outside of my house.
Yeah. Doesn't sound too bad, but it could be better.
Yeah. I think Destiny 2's Crucible is as fun, just less chaotic.
It's very, very different, because I think we did cover it last week, but no, it's just more tactical. I feel there's a lot more like strategy. Essentially, it's going to be. It is more difficult to solo in D2 Crucible for sure, because you have a lot of people that, I mean, again, that's like the last Crucible changes that came to D1. I was amazed at how quickly like the special changes and crap had made people like start to roam in groups, and that mentality has definitely, like I said, I'm wondering if those changes weren't in preparation for D2. Essentially, it's like Bungie really wasn't actually changing the meta because it was so special heavy, but changing the meta to get us used to these changes and used to not quite having special so much, which is now power. So I mean, because like I said, a lot of the mentalities that survived in late D1 will carry over and serve well in D2 because it's team shooting. It's now that the radar is like a fixed distance away from you now, rather than, because in D1 the radar would actually like, if there was no one near you, it would actually like stretch out a bit.
Yeah.
Until it could basically detect somebody and then shrink back in, like when the action's getting closer to you. It does not do that in D2. It's like a static distance away from you now. So with that, flanking and like these wide overarching like paths around the enemy are even more valuable now because they won't see you coming until much later now. So, I mean, it's just a very different thing, and it does kind of require a bit of communication, but like I said, it's just soloing can be quite... if you're used to solo queuing in D1 and like going in and slayering and, doing your thing, then you're probably having a rough transition.
I think you and Alex did talk about this. I just wanted to put my, my feeling in on it, but
Hmm.
I know it would start the conversation again. I like it. I miss the chaos a little bit. If they made Iron Banner sixes, I wouldn't be angry. It would just be a huge. It wouldn't be a surprise if they were like, "Oh, sixes is back for Iron Banner."
Yeah, I'm still anticipating that myself as well.
I do. I can say the Toto method of playing, hold the line, is if you guys didn't get that Toto reference, the firing line. Some people have called it whatever. Is prevalent. It's not unbeatable. A grenade can scatter a line.
Oh yeah.
I've discovered that a Devour grenade will definitely scatter a line. Holy crap, that's a great ability. My thing is sometimes I've solo queued, just to do the quick plays and the 2 competitive just to get that done with my Warlock. I'll have a blueberry punch me in the beginning, and it kind of shakes you. And I look back and the dude pointed at me, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever, man. I guess cool, yeah, Blister Lister. That's right, Buster Knuckle, whatever. And then I started running, and then he ran with me. So blueberries are now realizing you have to pack. You have to stay in 2s or 3s or 4s or whatever. One set of 3 and 1 flanker. Good luck on that. That's kind of tough to do, but it can be done. But yeah, I mean it's a lot more tactics heavy, and I think that's where they want to steer the competitive aspect of their game, which I enjoy.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of complaints that come from D2 Crucible. I've noticed, like just from personal experience, tends to be from those people that were like the Slayers in D1. That they can like solo queue and like pub stomp basically and like carry teams. And that's, like I said, those are the people that I'm hearing like a lot of complaints about. Mm-hmm. That are coming from D2 Crucible, and because, like I said, slayering and going in soloing and carrying teams, you can't just shoot people to do that now. You need like a little communication and such.
Yeah. All these are from Fred Bob Bazooka, from our Patreon lounge in our Discord. Fixed weapon rolls isn't as bad as the changes as I thought it would be. Your thoughts?
Well, in short, now, oh yeah, I haven't actually said this on cast yet. Bird Rock Mark II is out. And thanks to it being fixed roles, and I guess thanks to the API being screwed up somehow, and nobody really having a database other than our friends at Destiny Tracker, the Destiny Tracker website, of course, has their database up, but the only thing they're missing from what they used to have is a min-max. So the good news about it being fixed roles is I can actually discover the min-maxes to these weapons myself. The bad news is I'm like hitting a button or hitting like a node and then waiting for DIM to refresh so I can gather the stat numbers. And I'm hitting another node. Then I'm waiting for DIM to refresh so I can gather the stat numbers. And I'm hitting another node. It's like, holy crap, this is boring. So yeah, I'm really liking fixed roles because I can give a weapon a try. I can try a couple configurations, a couple like settings and such. And then from that moment forward, I know whether I keep that weapon or not. I'm dismantling any other weapons I get like that because I don't need them anymore. Like it makes deciding on what guns you want to keep very, 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 very simple.
Yeah.
Like extraordinary.
I mean, when I first heard it, I thought I wasn't going to like it. Because I thought, like, oh, it pretty much takes all the fun out of grinding. But it doesn't. Because you still have to grind for it.
Yeah.
Guy who ran around Nessus for 8 hours trying to get a Uriel's gift and ended up getting 16 afterwards. greatness. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. I like it. Mods play a huge part now. You know, your armor mods now make
Oh yeah,
a
armor
world of
mods.
different. And yeah, I mean, I bust a knuckle thumbs up for the fixed rolls. And now this is a hot take, a hot little topic. Grenade launchers aren't getting the community love that they deserve, but they are awesome. Like explosive rounds, longer range shotguns. Do you love grenade launchers as much as I do? Play of the game is amazing. Though the fighting line is, frankly, awful. How do you feel about grenade launchers?
Well, I wish they could have been more. But throughout Destiny 1, a lot of people, I mean, grenade launchers have been like a requested part of Destiny since like vanilla. But the one thing I've always thought in the back of my head, it's like, how would they do grenade launchers that rocket launchers aren't just better? And in the D2 beta, I thought it was perfect because grenade launchers had like 2 rounds or 2 to 4 rounds that you could get, and rocket launchers got 1 shot. And I thought, that's perfect. It's like, that's a perfect way to separate rocket launchers from grenade launchers. Because, sadly, prox grenades cannot one-shot. Like, their power weapon, play of the game, is capable, I believe, of proximity detonations. Mm-hmm. But because you don't get that initial damage off, like, the explosion, because they work kind of like rockets, and the fact that they actually do 2 stages of damage, it's very hard to one-shot on a grenade launcher. And as far as I could tell, it's almost impossible to one-shot with a proc stat. But it's like they do have a purpose. They do have a niche use. They're like very crowd control-y. They're area denial. They're cool in theory. It's just now that with the launch of the game and you get 2 rockets unless you're using the Wardcliffe coil, which that's actually good news. I mean, yeah, you get absolutely positively murdered because you got like 16 of these little missiles coming at you, but that's their power. That's it. That's 1 kill. Every other rocket launcher in the game, you get 2 shots. So, I don't know. I like rockets better than grenade launchers, but I do like the one-shot grenade launchers I find interesting because the status effect grenades, the fact that they can blind, they kind of suck in PvE, but I haven't actually used them in PvP that much. Or at all. Because if I do use a grenade launcher in PvP, it's play of the game because I would love to see the look on people's face when they get absolutely, when they actually get killed by play of the game. And it's like, just that thought always makes me giggle. It's hilarious.
Of getting killed by something called the play of the game.
Exactly. It's like as soon as I saw that grenade launcher, it's like, don't get me wrong, I don't have as much fun with grenade launchers, except for play of the game, because as soon as that thing dropped for me, it's like, I'm never letting this go. I'm never letting this go. No. This grenade launcher is staying in my vault.
The fighting line isn't as bad as, personal preference here, personal opinions and all that. It's fun to play with. I like grenade launchers. They do have, they're outshined by every other power weapon ever. Even the theoretical power weapons that aren't even released yet are still better than grenade launchers. But the grenade launcher kept me alive. It was pretty much the only power weapon I had with my warlock, so I've gotten pretty good at them. Once you learn that arc, they're beautiful. And the proc stat ones are really fun because you can set traps like, a crap ton of throw are coming. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
There were a few blue grenade launchers that I did enjoy, but sadly I can't find a type of it in a legendary format. But they were sticky nades.
Oh, yeah. But
they didn't bounce. It's like, I know I have used a legendary grenade launcher that had sticky nades, but they ended up bouncing and then sticking. Like, still had that same arc. But one of the blue ones, had a straight line almost. And it's like, that was really cool. And it was really fun in PvE because you shoot it at an enemy and it attaches to the enemy, but then it wouldn't blow up like immediately. Like it'd wait a split second and then blow up. So it like the enemy would get like 2 stages of damage, and it's like, wow, this is great. I'd love to try this type of grenade launcher in PvP. And then by the time I actually got around to it, because it was like the day of release, so I was like, musical chairing freaking gear like nobody's business. I had not been able to do it. And like I said, I haven't found a legendary like that does that.
Yeah, so grenade launchers are useful, but I mean, like I said, they get taken over, right?
It's like sniper rifles. Like in PvE, there's legitimately no purpose to a sniper rifle. You might as well use a linear fusion rifle because they do more damage. Mm-hmm. So it's like, and that really sucks because I've actually tried it and it's like, oh, Men in War Tarantula gets like 1,400 damage on this boss for a headshot. Switch over to a sniper, like a low rate of fire, high impact sniper rifle. 700. Wait, what? Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Why am I not using this every time to burn down the boss?
Oh, and speaking of like incredibly surprising like damage numbers, rocket launchers with cluster bombs, and like going back to the raid, use them on the beast encounter. Use them. Datto did a damage comparison video for the dogs or the garden section, and he did all of his damage comparison numbers with his team with 60 stacks of spores. Oof. And at 60 stacks of spores, you can kill a dog with 2 cluster bomb rockets, where it takes Merciless like 10 rounds. It takes Hawthorne Shotgun 14 rounds. And so, I mean, 2 rockets, hilariously, 2 pulse nades will kill a dog with 60 stacks. 2 pulse grenades. And pretty much actually any like area. I think any area grenade will actually also do it, but it's like, what? It's like the damage things that happen is like super weird. Oh, yeah. But yeah, 2 clusters, like aim at the legs, like aim at like the back legs, that way it gets hit by as many clusters as possible. Seems to be the way to go for gardens. Like just use, or be a striker titan and toss a couple pulse nades on them and just watch it die.
Well, in theory, then if you had a team with 1 striker titan, and I've never played as the lone striker titan in any raid I've ever been, any raid encounter I've ever been in, you could theoretically go hold these, and then take care of another dog.
Yeah.
So one person could take care of 2 dogs in theory.
Yeah, if your team can get 60 stacks, 1 lone striker titan with a rocket with cluster bombs can take out 2 beasts by himself. Mm-hmm. So it's like,
here, hold this.
Go figure.
Here you go.
Yeah. It's like, hold this. Anybody need help?
I mean, the one time, when the first time I got through the dogs encounter, that's what happened. I think we got to, if not 60, we got to the step under, and it was just go get the dogs now. Just go, get them down as low as you can. I was like, all right, and I had the right middle dog, so I ran up on him, and as I saw him running, so I just chucked my 2 grenades, and he ran headlong into him and just stood there, and he died, and I was like, anybody need help? I can help somebody. And then somebody was like, yeah. And I just turned around and just hit him with my strike, used my super, killed another dog. And then while running, I was like, who needs it? I got this. And I just bashed the last dog. And then we got the clear. And everybody's like, what happened? I'm like, I killed 3 dogs. I don't know what happened. I killed 3 dogs. They're like, how did you kill 3 dogs? Are you using Merciless? I'm like, no, I threw grenades and used my super. That's what happens, I guess. So, screw it.
Guys, I did a thing.
Guys, sorry. I know you said you want us to bring them down to like a sliver of health, and then we run it again and get 12 stacks, and then we just kill them real quick. But I kind of went a little nuts. Apparently everybody else killed their dogs too. You can't get mad at me for killing 3. But our old buddy Zur came back. Even though when I release this, probably tomorrow, he'll be gone. But
well, like I said, he stays until Tuesday reset.
Yeah,
I mean, the fact that he's still here now.
Yeah, true. Tomorrow is Monday. I forgot what day it is. Good job, Buster. So,
By the way,
you have to listen to us talk about it. So Zur, if you guys didn't know, is on Io in a cave next to a chest.
Yeah, one of the gold chests actually.
Yeah, well,
region chests.
Region chests. His wares this week is the Risk Runner exotic submachine gun, the Mechaneer's trick sleeves for the hunters out there, the Hollow Fire Heart chest armor for the Titans, and the Transversive Steps for the Warlocks. If I'm not mistaken, the Risk Runner was given to you as a choice in the beginning.
Yeah. For Sloan? I think Sloan gives you that choice. Like Risk Runner, Graviton Lance.
No, I thought...
And Sunshot.
I thought Asher gives you the weapons and Sloan gives you the armor piece.
It could be that way. I still don't remember, but either way.
The Risk Runner, its perk is Arc Conductor. When taking arc damage, this weapon becomes more powerful and resists incoming arc damage. Kills extend the time in this overcharged state, and oh boy, is it overcharged. It also has, for the barrel mod, Arrowhead Break, which increases the... it greatly controls recoil and increases handling speed. Extended mag, we all know extended mag does. Superconductor, which is the trait when superconductor is active. Shots fired have a chance to become chain lightning and return ammo. And short action stock. It increases the handling speed. It has 1 ornament, and that's about it.
Interesting fact. Apparently, you can actually grenade yourself and start the perk on It's like if you have a Titan with a pulse nade, apparently you can stand in that.
Oh god!
And you get that perk started. Like apparently, I have not tried it myself, but I have heard word that it's at least something to think about. So yeah, that's interesting.
Raven, do you want to talk about the Mechaneer's trick sleeves?
I'm sorry, that exotic does not exist in my mind. No, I'm kidding. But
I was going to go.
Actually,
okay, moving on.
Yes, actually, I just tested it. If you stand in your Arcnade explosion, you will activate Risk Runner's perk.
Well, there you go.
That is a thing you can do in PvE. Sorry, I had to see it. Like, so yes, the Mechaneer's trick sleeves are arms for hunters. Their exotic intrinsic is spring-loaded mounting. Yeah. Which increases sidearm ready and reload speed.
That's as you can hear from Raven's reaction, that's about it.
So yeah, so they do that, which honestly isn't too bad. Like if this is your only access, or if this is what you chose in the start, like from Sloan as armor, honestly, it's not bad. Okay, all right. Let me try and like kind of construct this a little better. But if you're looking basically to rush headlong into PvP, like as soon as you can in like story or whatever, and like you get to Sloan and you can choose an exotic, this isn't a bad exotic to choose, to be honest, because sidearms are still fairly strong. Because you're looking at weapons like primary or energy weapons that have about like 0.8, 0.9 second time to kill. which is, of course, very good in this meta. You just have to be pretty much in their face. So something that can help you ready and reload them even quicker to actually have them in that method isn't bad. It's just very niche, like very, 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 like these arms do one thing, and that's it. That's it. That's what they do. I don't use them myself because I don't use sidearms that well. I'm not that aggressive of a play style, so I can't use them that effectively. But they're there and they can do a thing. So I don't know exactly how much faster they ready sidearms and crap, because again, not my play style. So yeah, they exist.
They're a thing.
Yeah.
And for the Titans out there, they have the Hallowfire Heart, which I just accidentally bought because I hit the wrong button. So, that's fun. Its intrinsic perk is Sunfire Furnace, which greatly improves the recharge rate of your solar abilities while Hammer of Soul is charged. So if you have a charged super, your grenades, your melee will recharge faster. Think of it as the...
And your wall.
Oh, and the wall too?
I do believe the wall also applies.
I played a little bit with this in the Nightfall this week, and oh man, all I did was throw grenades.
Yeah, it's I mean, people from D1 will kind of recognize this. It used to be called Simmering Flames because it was part of Hammers. It's not that good because Simmering Flames was ridiculous, but it's still a comparatively, I will say it is that good. But with like how much longer the cooldowns are now, it doesn't seem as strong, but it still like drastically reduces like your cooldowns, like drastically.
Oh yeah. And for the Warlocks, it's the Transversive Steps. This is what everybody was. No, that was the. What were the arms that everybody was bugging about? Fitting aspects from last
Yeah. Now, transversives in D1 were famous for helping you get through, Death Zamboni, because now I can't remember the encounter's name. Because even though, like, the pieces you pick up slowed you down, anything that helped your crouching speed was basically like walking speed, so you can actually get things across faster. So Hunters with Keen Scout, Warlocks with Transversive Steps were like ideal for carrying pieces, like in the Siege Engine. There we go. Good job. The Siege Engine encounter in Wrath of the Machine. But they're a little different now.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Its intrinsic perk now is called Strange Protractor. While sprinting, movement speed is increased, and energy weapons are automatically reloaded.
So I assume that's while sprinting, your energy weapons are reloaded?
I would assume so, yes.
I mean, I haven't used these because I'm not that often on my Warlock. But it seems like now everyone has, like legitimately everyone has like a sprinting, while sprinting, sprint faster perk. Yeah. Because Hunters now have like Stompies.
That's the sprinting
Titan
for them.
Yeah. Well, Stompies help you sprint and slide for further. Sprint faster and slide further. And something is improved with double jump. Warlocks have Transversive Steps, which, as we just read, and Titans have Dune Marchers again to help them sprint.
Yes, Titans have the Dune Marchers.
Which Lion's Rampart are the ones that help your jump. But yeah, Dune Marchers help your sprint.
I wouldn't say they help your jump. That's something I have. It gives you a little bit more hang time, which makes it easier for a Striker Titan. Other than that, it's pretty much useless. I mean, they do make you look like a mech.
I know, right? It's the Gundam legs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so nothing like. I mean, if you're gonna get anything and like you haven't held on to your Risk Runner, grab one of those again, and definitely grab that Titan chest because,
Yeah, Titan chest.
oh my god,
It's fun.
the Titan. Yeah, the Titan chest does like a thing. It's like it like feeds into the power fantasy because, like I said, if especially while you're screwing around in PvE, and like you're not using your super that often, or you start a public event, and like they like go to start a public event and you rally and you get a full super, so you can do like a lot of that encounter with extra cooldowns, just tossing nades and melees around like nobody's business.
It's exactly what it is. It's really, really fun.
Yeah, it's like it's a power fantasy armor, and it does a thing very, very well.
It does indeed.
But definitely grab that chest. That looks sick.
Yeah. I don't even know if it takes a shader. Let me check.
Probably does, to be honest.
Let me see if it takes a shader. Because that'll... let me take off the Lion's Rampart. Put on the Hellfire. Alright, let's see here. Oh my god, it
This
does.
one thing.
Oh my god, it does.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is a lot of exotics in D2. Definitely. Oh, wow. Actually found a shader that lets the Mechaneer's trick sleeves match the Icarus Drifter set.
Oh man, I loved it.
So that's actually pretty awesome, and I might actually...
This might get some hate, but I actually like the shader system now more than before.
I'm okay with it. Like like I've said in the pre-show, I want more shader space, please.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And can I have more spots for shaders? Because I've gotten to a point where at the start of the faction rallies, I did the thing for Future War Cult, got their 2 shaders. I now have, like, my Warlock and my Titan each have 2 shaders in their Postmaster because I can't pick them up.
Yeah, I agree with that. Can we please get a shader boost? Can we get a shader space? I don't need more vault space. I just need more shader space.
Yeah, now that I'm working on like this spreadsheet, like I definitely don't need shader space or vault space because that's trimming down like pretty much as we speak. Every time I finish a thing, I'm, the herd is getting thinned there, and yeah, I could use a little more like shader space maybe, or maybe you could put shaders in the vault. I don't know. I should have maybe been deleting like a few of the more common ones, like as I was getting to them.
Yeah.
Because now I can definitely see, like, there are certain more common ones. Because I have some stacks. I have, like, one stack that's 47 of Avalon Teal. I could have sworn I had a 60 stack somewhere.
I like Avalon.
Oh, wait.
I like the Avalon Teal on armor.
Quantity. Yeah. I have 69 Atlantis Wash.
Oh God, why?
Because I haven't been deleting shaders. And the bad thing is, when you go to dismantle a shader, it's 1 by 1.
Atlantis Wash. Hold on, let me see if I can find that one because I know I've seen it. Oh, that one. Yeah.
Actually, hilariously, Atlantis Wash is actually the color scheme of the Icarus Drifter set.
Yeah. I have 40 of those, 20 of Avalon Teals, 22 of the Desert Matte. Yeah, you can definitely see that there is a huge favorite. There is a weighted system, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. And sadly, I mean, I didn't quite get it at first because a lot of people were complaining that, or I've seen an article about Eververse, like the fact that a lot of shaders come from there, and a lot of shaders don't really come from there, but a lot of the shiny shaders and purple quality shaders do come from there, and that's more of a meh, in my opinion. Because, like, I mean, you can get Suros modular, like, without Eververse. But Suros modular Shine, which is just a high gloss Suros modular, only comes as far as I can tell from Eververse.
Yeah.
So it's like, ugh. But yeah. That's a thing. Like I said, there's some intricacies in there, but at the same time, I don't 100% mind it as much as most people do. Because let me tell you what, there are still very few weapons that Callus Selected does not look good in. Like, oh my god. It's like 90% of weapons you throw it on. It's like, oh my god.
Like, oh, this is it right here. We're good. Yep. And then you gotta remember, there's still more raids coming.
Yeah, I mean, this is the tip of the Destiny 2 iceberg. Mm-hmm. Legitimately. If they even carry on, I don't think they're going to be able to improve as much as Destiny 1 did. Because A, they have Destiny 1 to learn from, and B, I don't think there's as many, actually I pretty much know, there are not as many broken systems in Destiny 2 that were in Destiny 1. Because there were a lot of broken systems in Destiny 1 that over time got fixed and pretty much nullified. I mean, good God, we haven't even had we've had like a couple hours of like error codes, but we haven't had like the weeks long like struggle with, what was it, baboon or beaver back in D1 vanilla?
Badger?
The badger, there you go. The badger. And it was a B word. But yeah, the badger error that plagued like everyone in Destiny 1 for the first like month at least. We haven't had that. And that's really refreshing to have a game that's functioning very well.
Oh yeah, very, very well actually.
I mean, there are, certain occasions of weird error codes and this, that, and the other. I mean, but still, you think back 4 years ago, and it's like, this is still functioning good. Like I said, there's no loot caves. Things are rewarding. They're giving you things. The grind isn't nearly as bad. Within the first week, I had all my subclasses maxed out, and good luck doing that in D1. So yeah, the grind isn't as harsh. I mean, there's certainly still a grind, but it's not as harsh. The game is rewarding. The systems in place are working. I haven't even had like a lot of issues with red bars in PvP. I've come across a couple, but like I said, the systems that are in place, it does function differently. Like, I haven't lost gunfights because of red bars. Like, they wouldn't teleport and I'd like suddenly die from them like 2 miles away now. It's like, wait, what? Like, that hasn't happened yet. I mean, I'm going to say yet because I don't know how well this system, like the foundation of this system is, but I'm going to say yet. But yeah, it definitely hasn't happened yet. And it's fairly refreshing to see a game work at launch. Minus some Trials of the Nine stuff that kind of happened, some Nightfall things that kind of, like I said, a lot of what's happened is like easy crap. Oh, and also to talk about the TWAB real fast, the Sandbox team, they hear your cries. They know of the lethality right now of Mida. John Wisniewski has spoken, and he said, they know. They hear you. Chill out. It's only been like a month. So just hold on. There are ways to fight a Mida. Most of those ways are use weapons, sidearms, submachine guns. Get in their face. Because guess what? Mida
not good up close.
Ain't really that strong in close quarters. And there's a lot of close quarters options out there right now. Like I said, sidearms, SMGs, auto rifles. All those can do really good. But that's not even like, and of course, if you have power, that's a whole different story. But yes, there are ways to fight a Mida. It might take about another month for us to see a sandbox, like, patch, or probably they might wait as long as the first expansion, since that's in December.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, because next month is November, so I wouldn't be surprised if they hold back until December. I mean, it'd be kind of sad, but Bungie, as we're finding out, like, Bungie is a busy company because by the time they have one thing out, they have teams working on the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. So, I mean, I can't wait for the next couple weeks, though, to see if they... Because I'm pretty sure they're going to be bringing back Festival of the Lost. I want to see how it's like going to debut in D2. If they do. It may not come, but I hope it does, because I can't wait to see what they learn from it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm ready to see what they bring. I really am. I'm ready to see what goes forward, what new surprises they have. They bring back, Festival of the Lost. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I agree, because of what the story, we lost a tower, and we lost everyone in that tower, and many Guardians storyline wise. So, wouldn't be surprised if Festival of the Lost came back.
I mean, this is like I said, in universe, this can be like one of the most drastic of Festival of the Lost, because I mean, we went through a major war where Guardians themselves have been lost. Mm-hmm. So I mean, this is something.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that came back. I'd be happy if the Queen's Wrath came back. They learned what happened in D1 in Destiny 1 and fixed it. The Queen coming back would make a little bit of sense. Aldrin does have a house now, a House of Fallen, story-wise.
Yeah, and like I said, that's out of everything that's happened in D2, that's one set of characters you really don't hear from. I mean, Bungie themselves have stated, the Stranger's done, which is kind of meh, but, whatever. But we haven't heard anything, really hints or anything from, Aldrin, from Marasov, if she was capable of surviving or not.
Eris.
So, yeah. Eris vanished. She had a grimoire in D1. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that, and like I said, we had a grimoire for Aldrin, but like I said, he wasn't mentioned. Eris was mentioned, so we know she's missing. That's right, the 9 is after... Wait, is it the 9? Crap, what expansion is after Osiris?
So, Warmind.
Oh, yeah, Warmind. There we go.
Rasputin or
Which,
whatever.
that's a whole nother thing, because that's... Oh, my God, I just forgot. The fact that there's only one Warmind. The story tells us, there are not multiple Warminds. There were subsections of Warminds, and Rasputin is a subsection of the Warmind. So, I mean, Are we going to meet the Warmind in the Warmind expansion? I mean, I know people are talking about supposed leaks of the Osiris DLC, and those supposed leaks being like, oh, hey, it's going to focus around Vex. No. Really? I do hate to say this kind of things, because I do sound like a condescending douchebag, but if you read any lore revolving around Osiris, it's only going to revolve around one of two things, and that's Vex or Hive.
Yeah, and Tolan is more Hive than Osiris is.
Well, it was Osiris's studies into the Hive that inspired Toland. Osiris vanished while examining a taken portal. And somehow he's ended up in Vex systems, which he has also been a studier of Vex and thinking they were connected, which, surprise, he was right. Sort of.
in a weird vexy way.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like I cannot wait to see with just everything that comes next because I mean, I do hope that it's not the D1. Like, I'm hoping that these expansions aren't too close and they have been given ample time to be finished and polished and done. I'm hoping. Because if they release kind of like Dark Below and House of Wolves did, then it's going to be disappointing all over again.
Mm-hmm. But if they're taking King or Rise of Iron,
yeah, I mean something of those sizes. Which at the same time, I'm also just because it's mimicking the Destiny 1 release dates, I'm almost not expecting it.
Yeah,
because I'm expecting smaller sizes. Like a minimum of House of Wolves wouldn't be too awful because House of Wolves did give us a lot, like in D1 vanilla. Like it was like legitimately House of Wolves was like where things were starting to look up in Destiny 1.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a shorter episode this week. We didn't want to miss a week. Keep that streak going, baby. And because Des is a day walker, it's easier now.
I know, right? It's like any point in time.
Together. Yeah. Hey man.
It's like, oh hey, you want to record at like 6 p.m.? Sure. How about like 3:30 ish tomorrow? No problem. We got this.
Yeah.
Like holy crap.
Totally different now, and luckily, but like I said, we don't want to miss that streak. Missing an episode entirely is something we don't want to do. We like to put out content for the listeners and everyone. And I was pretty upset that I missed an episode, but it was medical, and I had no choice.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was just like, I'm just going to sit and play Destiny. No. I couldn't do anything. I had to go to the ER and get a shot and get some... oh,
God. And then an ER trip.
Yeah.
You need to recover from those.
Yeah, pretty much. Does that guy have a knife in his head? Something I legitimately could have said. What's wrong with that guy? You're first. No, I'm not. Take him first. Why? His arm is hanging off by a sleeve. Please just go. Take him.
This guy seems to be bleeding profusely. I think he has importance.
I'm not a doctor, but he's bleeding out of his ears. I think he goes first. I just have a sore throat. We're going to give you an antibiotic and some pain medicine. Sweet. Pain medicine kicked in. The antibiotic was like, I was like, all right, cool. I don't know how I'm going to swallow this antibiotic. And the doctor was like, you're not. And I was like, shit. Shit. There I am, acting like a little baby getting needles because I hate needles. Fun little fact about Buster Knuckles.
Me too.
I hate needles.
I despise them.
I fight.
I go from man to punk in like 2 seconds when I see a needle, man. It's like, oh God.
He pulled the needle. I was like, you fucked up. You showed me. He was like, well, I was like, I'm gonna go out. I'm blacking out. I couldn't say anything, but I was like, looked like Fred Sanford from Sanford and Son. About that come to join you, honey. I was, and then on the way out, it was so it was so like it just took my manhood away because my girlfriend watched me go from man to punk.
Exactly.
And then we get in the car and I'm driving, and she goes, "You want to stop and get ice cream? You were a brave boy." I was like, shh. I just looked at her and I was like, no. And she's like, what do you want? I was like, popsicles. we went to the grocery store and got 2 boxes of popsicles. And I was just eating it mad. Just. She's like, you're not going to even. I'm like, and I, swallowing tough with strep. Even if it's cold, it's still, you feel like razor blades. And she's like, stop swallowing it. I'm like, mm-mm. She's like, well, I was like, I'm a man. And she's like, really? And I'm like, shut up. But I'm back. The voice is back. I'm better. Might be a little bit raspy still, but I'm no pain. So that's all that matters. When you wake up and you can't swallow. Ooh,
exactly.
I'm like, no. Oh, boy. Okay. Let's go to the doctors.
Yeah.
But This one I couldn't help. I could help all the other ones, going to the ER, getting hurt, all that, leaving the ER against doctor's orders. I can help that. Having no voice, you can't do a podcast. It's audio. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So, I guess that would bring this episode to a close because I have to get ready for work. Jess, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Oh, this has been your boy Raven. You can, as always, find me on Twitter at DES_Raven. You can find me on Twitch at the Corvus Nest, or if I'm just watching as DES Raven. And you search me on YouTube, Death Switch Raven.
Usually we have our third here, known as Alex. He's our director of photography. He is our Twitch link to the world, but he's not here. You can find him everywhere at known as Alex. You can find me, Buster Knuckle. I said my name right a second time. Heads up. At Buster_Knuckle on Twitch. You can search me out on YouTube. Just search Buster Knuckle. You can find me on Twitter at BusterKnuckle13. That's BusterKnuckle13. And you can find this podcast on Twitch at twitch.tv/the RNGcast. You can find us on YouTube at just search the RNGcast podcast because someone had the RNGcast. You can find us on Twitter at the RNGcast. We have a Discord server, which we will gladly send you invites to. We also have an email, therngcast@gmail.com. And if you like what you hear and want to pledge any dollar amount to us, you can do that at Patreon, patreon.com/the RNGcast. And this is the 72nd episode of the RNGcast. We're out.
Later, man.
See you all next week. I did listen. I heard you guys argue. I heard you guys debate about which one is going to do it, and I giggled. I giggled legitimately. And Alex was like, "I'll pull my ear. I'll pull my ear." So, I dug it.